So an example of that was literally right when I booted up the game, like almost immediately after I had done the character creation. I used a mod called Alternate Start, which gives an option to be the owner of a farm called Shoals Rest right outside of Rorikstead, which is in Whiterun Hold, a little bit outside of Rorikstead, which is a farming community. And I had just literally come out of the Alternate Start character creation. And immediately I get attacked by a werewolf. I have no idea where the werewolf came from. I don't know why. It was nighttime, so I assume that's what werewolves do at night. But I was immediately attacked by a werewolf. And then following that, I sort of had this kind of a kind of an existentialist sort of. It was like a trigger for an existentialist moment for the character. I hadn't planned that, but I thought, okay. Now this guy's just had a near-death experience when he's a level 1 character with literally no gear. He's got farmer's clothes on. He has no weapons, right? That's part of the whole immersive aspect of the Alternate Start. You start off as that type that you play. And so, it was basically just that. When I started off with that, I realized, okay, now I have to write how he would deal with this, right? Like, now I have to write what he would do with this near-death experience, considering the fact that where I had him starting, he was basically on the edge of suicide, quite frankly. I mean, he was ready to just sort of give up on life, and now he's just had a near-death experience, and so it's more sort of in the vein of, does the guy still really want to live? I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to check on our stream. Matthias says, Elder Scrolls on a Dragon Age channel. What's next, Sailor Moon? Hi, everyone, by the way. Not to start off with a huge rant, but it's too late. I already did. Hope everyone's doing okay. Thanks for joining here on a Sunday. Is the quality of the stream okay? That's what I was going to check on, because OBS says I'm streaming okay. YouTube says it's not getting anything. I'm almost positive I've been streaming this entire time, but you never know. Very good. This is the cabin, by the way. I'll tell you a little bit more about the cabin as I'm... Oh, did I say Sunday? Look at me. This is what happens when I do a solo stream. I just assume it's Sunday. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me get us back into a... I kind of like that cozy cinematic camera angle. Oh, you guys see the standby screen. Oh, you know what? Here I am talking. There you go. That's what you guys want to see, right? So this is our character, Beric Mara. I've been telling you about him on the standby screen. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is our character, half Nord, half Imperial, and yeah. So that was cut me some slack, guys. First time with this Skyrim setup. Yeah. So that's basically the whole premise of essentially why I'm still playing Skyrim after all of these years. I don't really get a lot out of it as far as the main storyline anymore, but it's become this weird little trick for me as a writer to use it as a writing exercise to avoid a mistake that a lot of writers really make quite often, which is that when you do your character work, if you've ever tried to write a novel or a screenplay or something like that, you do your character work, and then hopefully you outline a plot or something, and then as you're in the process of actually writing the story and getting through your plot, you can sometimes lose the character-driven aspect of something, right? You can sometimes lose what it means to actually be driven by the character. You start making characters serve plot. What do the characters need to be doing in order for my plot to get from point A to point B, instead of what would these characters be motivated by? And that's a very simple thing to slip into no matter what you're writing. One of the interesting things, music is a bit loud. Yeah, That is true. And I'll tell you what I can do, actually. There you go. We'll lower that there. This mod includes this. It's a really cool little music box you can see here. I'll show it to you. This is a mod called Hermit Cottage, and it's a Hearth-style build mod where you build a cabin up in the mountains. And one of the customizations that you can add is this little music box. It's got a little soul gem in there, which I guess is how it gets powered, and got a neat little music box, which is really quite cozy. I'll show you a little bit more of the cabin here in a second. But yeah, the premise of stuff like this for me is just sort of using a RPG and a journal mod, which we have in Skyrim, a little journal that you can use here, and you can write little journal entries. And by doing this, I'm sort of writing a story around the character premise, but also writing a story around stuff like that werewolf attack. How do I continually recenter the experience of what the story is around the character and not just around whatever happens to be taking place in the plot? And it's actually really quite interesting. I'm working on a screenplay in my I don't know what you want to call it, my serious writing or just sort of what I work on. And I found that doing stuff like this with Skyrim actually helps me in my real writing. It actually helps me to sort of constantly focus in on what the character's motivation is rather than simply trying to use characters to move plot and flipping that around and using characters to move plot. Rather, having the plot be driven by the characters and not having the characters serve the plot. I've done this with a couple of different characters. I talked about it on another stream with Katie about how I one time did a farmer who was actually a good farmer, unlike Barrack, who is not the world's best farmer. He's a much better soldier than he is a farmer. And the one I did before this was actually about a Dunmer who I intended to be a lot more sort of cutthroat. It was this dark elf character who was going to join the Dark Brotherhood, and he's got a lot of prejudices against like Nords, for instance, and Argonians, and he's a real sort of bastard of a character. I almost got tired of playing him because of how just ruthless and kind of heartless he was. But then this thing would happen where when I traveled to Solstheim, I couldn't help but write the character in a different way if I was really being honest about it, because he wouldn't be cutthroat and awful with other Dunmer. He would be really sort of compassionate, and all of a sudden he became this more altruistic character amongst his own people because of the situation that Solstheim is in the Skyrim timeline, in the Dragonborn DLC. Everybody's kind of having a hard time of it on Solstheim as far as the Dunmer are concerned. And so all of a sudden he became this compassionate character. Everything became about him wanting to help the island sort of be in a better place and sort of restore Morrowind to what it once was. And that really surprised me, but I was really trying to lean into that because that really felt like being true to the character and not just true to the character plot line that I had come up with beforehand about how he was going to be this ruthless assassin and everything else. Also, as for how incredibly sad this all is, you are so right. And it's really weird. It's probably part of the reason why I wouldn't do this character as the mainstay. If I do end up streaming Skyrim more, I probably wouldn't do this character. This character is incredibly depressing. I told my girlfriend about this, and she just goes, "That's really sad. Why would you? His wife, his daughter, they're all dead." And I kept telling her about the character and just like getting into it. She's like, "That's so sad. Why would you think of something like that?" And I don't know. I just thought it's an interesting twist to sort of play when you think about a character that has going through something harrowing and traumatic. Well, what if they're an older character who already thought that they had been through the worst thing in their life? they are by surviving the war with the Aldmeri Dominion, he thought that would be the worst thing he'd ever have to deal with. And when he came home to his wife and had a daughter and had a farm, he thought, okay, I'm done with that. And so when all of that is taken and he's forced to sort of re-accept a life of conflict, that's sort of like, I don't know, it sort of makes you feel more empathic towards the character, I would think. Will there be RP voices? No, I'm a much better writer and director than I am an actor. I can maybe do a little bit, but I'm not too great at doing voices. I can do some, but it would probably be more comedic, and that's just sort of a disservice to how goddamn tragic this whole thing is. As for how riveting the gameplay is, yeah, I make no promises. If I'm going to do this, there's really only one way to do it, and that's just sort of in the character, in the moment. And that's just kind of what these would have to be, which is very different than what we normally do. I know it's very different from a Saturday stream. If you guys came expecting the typical array of dick jokes, I'll try and work in a couple of dick jokes. I'm not trying to be a downer here, all right? I'll try and weave them in where I can get them in, but this is really just sort of me. I think more than anything, sort of, I want to kind of show people why I like Skyrim so much. I did a couple of videos on the Exalted March channel about why I think Skyrim is sort of like this platform for role-playing and this platform for sort of player-driven storytelling, but I still really feel like I've never communicated exactly why I like Skyrim so much for stuff like this, is because I really don't think of it purely as just sitting down to play a video game mindlessly. It really is almost like a writing exercise for me at this point. And in that way, I kind of just wish I could show people a little bit more of what that would be like, and also kind of show people, like pick up Skyrim and try and do this for yourself. Like, even if you don't think of yourself as a writer, even if you don't think of yourself as someone who could come up with something really sort of like tragic and sad, that doesn't matter. You could come up with a really basic story, and I think that you would really, really enjoy it. That's probably the main reason why I wanted to test drive something like this, is to just show people you might really, really enjoy playing Skyrim from this angle. Even if you don't like the main storyline, forget about the main storyline. Just like come up with something that you might even only play for a couple of weeks and just sort of see how much of the character you can make yourself interested in. And if you're someone who likes to write and maybe you aspire to be a writer, you should really value the fact that if you can start from nothing and create a character that you really enjoy and start to feel empathic towards, probably other people will feel empathic towards those characters also. And then you're that much better at creating characters that people relate to. So yeah, that is the big preface, the big foreword on why I'm doing this. Now let's kind of see where we're at here. So you will see up on the left side of the screen, it says you are thirsty, you are hungry. I'll tell you a little bit more about the mod setup that we have for this. I always use a bevy of survival mods. So I have realistic needs and diseases, which makes you have to account for hunger, sleep, thirst, and you can also get sick. In the vanilla game, shrines can cure all illnesses. I have that option turned off, so you actually have to use a potion, buy one or craft one to cure diseases. I also have Frostfall. You see there on the left, you are warm. I'm inside, so I can't get a feel for what the weather is. And so I also have to deal with cold. You can freeze to death. You start to take penalty debuffs. Like, for instance, right now, I'm warm. Where is it? I'm warm. So when you're warm, you have 10 plus to your health, magicka, and stamina. If you're cold or freezing, you start to go the other direction. You start to take penalties. You can also get frostbitten. If you get frostbite, you suffer like huge penalties to archery and lockpicking and all these different stuff. You are thirsty. Wow. I know. Yeah, that's okay. That's good. I got to admit. I'm gonna rely on you guys for more of the dick jokes on this one. This is gonna be. I'll take a back seat. Let's be honest. Sometimes the chat is the funniest part of these things altogether. And hello to everyone who is continuing to join. If you're perplexed about what's going on, maybe you weren't here last week or you just haven't heard, Katie is not here this week. I am doing a solo stream. This is not Dragon Age. As you can no doubt tell by the title, we're playing Skyrim. Very, very heavily focused on roleplay and sort of backstory today, and I'm going to make it a very story-driven, sort of roleplay-focused playthrough. What we are most likely going to be doing is trying to destroy the Dark Brotherhood. Very likely. The basic point where we're at in the story right now is Barrack Morrow, our character here, has sort of cleared out a bunch of bandits in the southern regions of Falkreath Hold and Whiterun Hold. He then went north to help people around Dawnstar and Winterhold and Heljarkin and just you name it, even as far west as like Morthal, Solitude, things like that. And he's made quite a name for himself. You know, the Jarl of Winterhold and Jarl Elisif in Hothengar have offered him a thainship, etc. So he's done quite well in the north, but the problem is he's getting pet the dog, please. Okay, this is Garm. Everyone say hello to Garm. Garm is a half wolf, half husky. He is the most loyal companion on this journey. Let me tell you, phenomenal. He's also OP as fuck. He just destroys enemies most often, and he's very tanky, so it's useful to have him. There is a mod which I have not installed yet, because it's difficult to install mods mid-playthrough. Yeah, that can be dangerous. But there is a mod that I wish I had known about earlier that lets you pet the dog. You cannot pet Garm right now. If we continue in the series, I promise I'll install the mod. I'll try to install the mod that lets us pet Garm. Unfortunately, we can't give him any pets. We can get him to lay down by the mat, though. We can do that. Let's tell Garm to go have a seat there. Go lay down by his bedroll. No bad. Will he listen? He's not going to listen. Yeah, Garm's not listening right. Pay attention, Garm. Okay. Go sleep on the bedroll. Oh, he's not listening. Okay, Garm's not having any of it. Is there a wolf pelt? Yeah, you know, just ignore that. Is this original Skyrim or special edition? This is special edition. Yeah, so basically the problem Barrack has been having is that he's being attacked by the Dark Brotherhood. Of course, in vanilla Skyrim, you always get attacked by the Dark Brotherhood. We don't know why the character is always attacked by the Dark Brotherhood. In this character case, I am sort of headcanoning the proposition that because of some things that happened in Markarth around the vanilla quest called the Forsworn Conspiracy, and the fact that Barrack ended up killing Thonar Silverblood, I am sort of role-playing the fact that one of the surviving members of the Silverblood family has sent the Dark Brotherhood after Barrack. And he's all the way up here in the mountains, and he still can't shake the Dark Brotherhood. So he's kind of gotten to the point where he's now facing the fact that he is going to have to deal with the Dark Brotherhood. He is going to have to face them head on. He can no longer run from them. And so he's been in the mountains now, let's see, it was probably like the 5th of Hearthfire when I came up here, and we're now in the 20th of Sun's Dusk. Sun's Dusk is like the equivalent of December. I'll show you guys more of the cabin here in a second. Let's go outside so you can get a feel for what we're doing here. And I also have Frostfall enabled, which I mentioned. But in addition to having Frostfall enabled, oh god, it's the middle of the night. A furious snowstorm draws near. Okay. So in addition to having Frostfall turned on, I also have a separate mod which enables seasons for Frostfall. So it actually gets colder. The air is frigid and deadly. You're getting colder. Yeah, that's going to happen. So in the winter months, it gets colder, and in the summer months, it's not so harsh. There's this little area called cold storage, and the food does not spoil if it's in a container, but it will spoil if it's in your inventory, which I kind of feel like it breaks immersion a little bit, because I think that the food should go bad, but I kind of like the fact that it has this cold storage area where, because it's packed into the snow, presumably it would be like a freezer, and you could store things like meat, etc. And so I'm going to take a little bit of bear meat, because that's mainly what Barrack has been eating. He's not sick of bear meat yet, but he's getting there. He's been eating a lot of bear meat for like 3 months, basically. Bear meat is really useful, though, because you can cook it with just garlic and salt. If I come over here to my cooking pot, you can make bear roast with just salt and garlic, and you can make something that's a filling meal that will take down most of your hunger and the realistic needs and diseases. Whereas if you only have meat, you can always just char the meat. You can make what's called charred meat, but that increases your thirst, which means it also you have to drink more water to offset it. You can use venison to make venison roast, but you always need to have a bottle of Nord mead in order to make that. And, you know, sometimes I don't have that on hand, so bear roast it's just a steady diet of bear roast. That and potato cabbage soup. Barrick has been eating a lot of potato cabbage soup. Gonna make some bear roast. We're gonna eat some bear roast, and we're gonna drink a little bit of boiled water, which you can normally get from an inn. All right, so we're no longer thirsty. We're no longer hungry. It has an animated. It animates the eating as well. Unfortunately, it always uses bread. It never really takes into account the fact that you're eating something different. You always just eat a piece of bread in the animation. Close enough. I just like the fact that the eating is animated. Slightly tired, but we're probably going to want to have him sleep during the night, and then we'll probably go real quick to get a couple of things before we start to travel. That doesn't look like bear roast. Yeah, you ain't kidding. Ashara asked, does anyone know if these mods are possible on console? A lot of them are not. A lot of them are required. They are dependent upon SKSE or Skyrim script extender. And that is something where you need to have it on PC. So let's see here. I am noticing performance is quite awful, so hang on one second here. I'm going to put that up, and I'm going to see what can I do make OBS stop being so ridiculously intrusive. I can't raise Skyrim's priority, but yeah, man, OBS has just been really, really not friendly. We'll see if that helps. Yeah, no, okay, so that is, what a problem, right? Okay, that's no good. OBS refuses to take less, and I don't know, you guys let me know what's going to happen to the stream, because whenever I do this, I oftentimes notice that the stream freaks out, but I'm going to lower the priority on OBS to see if it will let Skyrim. Okay. Then go back outside, and you guys let me know, does the stream just look super choppy now? Look awful? What's going on? Good lord, nope. It just does not matter what I do. OBS is completely over. That is so weird. It never used to do that. Yeah, it does. I'm sure it does. Okay, I'm going to try this again. I might have to lower the stream quality again. So we're going to do what we did yesterday. I'm going to stop streaming, and then I'm going to start streaming again, and it'll just basically have to lower the quality. But here we go. All right, and we should be back. Everyone, let me know. Make sure we're actually back. Yes, we're back. Okay, perfect. Okay, now OBS should actually be behaving. I don't know why. Whenever I try and stream it at 1080, it just will not do it, and that really eats into Skyrim's FPS. All right, so we're gonna go to bed because Barrack has to sleep. I'm gonna sleep for about 8 hours. I think you only need 6 in an owned bed in order for it to... If it is coming up super grainy, it might take a little while to resolve after we switch the resolution. It should be 720, and it's not going to be great, but it shouldn't be super great. Yeah, there you go. Whenever I switch the resolution, it's going to do that, so it rebuffers. Okay, so it's morning. We got to eat again. So more bear roast. We're now out of water. Fine, we'll just have to get some from the inn. Someone asked earlier, where on the map is this cabin? It is between Windhelm and Dawnstar. It's right by a little, tiny little settlement called Hiljarkin. We'll go down to right now. Things are going to be quite cold, I'm pretty sure. Because again, once we're into Sun's Dusk and we're up in the mountainous regions of Skyrim, it's really fracking cold. Like dangerously cold. So it should be... I'm not sure what heat it's talking about. I assume it's coming from... Oh, yeah, also, the reason why he eats so much potato cabbage soup is on the outside of the cabin, you have a little cold frame planter here, and the easiest thing to do is to just do potatoes and cabbages, and with some water, you can make potato cabbage soup. And then I've got some wheat here, and if I buy eggs and milk from the inn, I can make bread. Probably the easiest way to go. The air is bone chilling, as you can tell. So yeah, this is basically what's going to happen. I've got a variety of different gear here on the horse. I also have a mod installed that makes everything harsher in the economy. Loot sells for less, everything is more expensive, and it lowers the carry weight. So without a backpack and these pouches, let's see here. I mean, normally most people are used to having carry weight, like what, in the 300s? Carry weight, and actually I have another mod that halves the weight of whatever gear you're wearing, but without any gear my carry weight would basically be, oh, it's got to calculate it. Yeah, my carry weight would be very, very low, essentially. But also, let me see, let me put the backpack back on. Essentially, it's really way too cold to be running around in just this this leather jerkin and gloves. So, what I did before I came up here was I constructed some winter gear. This is Skull gear. So on the island of Solstheim, there's the Skull, which are basically Nords who live in Morrowind. yeah, we don't want to stand naked in the clothes. In the cold. So with this gear, you could basically walk around in the cold quite a bit and not suffer too much. So we'll head down here real quick. We'll just get some water. Basically, we'll refill our water skins, and then we're gonna head over to Windhelm, right? Because in order to deal with the Dark Brotherhood, we've got to draw out the Dark Brotherhood, and we've got to find a way to get to the Dark Brotherhood. And when Barrack was in Windhelm last, he recalled that he heard about a boy, the Aventus Aretino boy, who was trying to summon the Dark Brotherhood. And so he remembers that, and he knows if he's going to deal with the Dark Brotherhood, he's got to start somewhere. And so he's going to try and find this kid in Windhelm to get to the Dark Brotherhood, not so he can join them, but so he can defeat them and sort of get them off his ass. I was hoping you would RP walk everywhere. I kind of do, I kind of don't. But I feel like it's okay for him to run because it's really fucking cold.
Come on in. We got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
So this is an inn that you frequent often. This is the inn here in Hiljarkin. And yeah, he's pretty familiar with Adrian.
Need a room?
He buys,
or maybe just some mead?
Supplies from quite often.
Something I can get for you?
Let me know how the audio is with their dialogue. I can lower the stream game audio. And it's 10 gold to just get all my water skins refilled. So now I've got 3 water skins, water, And I will probably... Dialogue is a bit loud, I kind of figured.
Anything you need.
Let's fix that real quick. Okay. Here, let me, I'm adjusting the audio. 1 second. So yeah, this, oh, 1 second here. That back up. That back up. Hello, I am the innkeep. He really is. Okay.
Taller.
Let's talk to Morris the Draugr here. Morris is actually a part of a mod called Interesting NPCs, and I love this mod. This basically puts in like 150, 200 different NPCs, some of which can become followers. They're all custom voiced. They basically have little side quests. Here, let's talk to him a little bit. And before, when I was talking to him, he's kind of talking about... He's actually sort of similar to Barrack in the sense that he's an older character, but still feels like he's got some fight left in him. And he was talking about how people were doubting him.
Not something. Someone. It all started when I was exploring the Forsaken Cave in Eastmarch.
How's that volume balance? Let me know.
I was being chased by Draugr, and like a dumb mule, I stepped on a pressure plate. Next thing I know, I'm taking a battering ram to the gut. Shattered just about every rib I own, and other parts I didn't know I had.
What did you do?
I crawled back to Windhelm. Lay in bed at Candlehearth Hall for 2 straight days. Couldn't even breathe without pain. Then I get this message from an urchin. Said Orthus and Dario wanted to see me about a job. I told him to go screw. The next day, Orthus himself graces me with his presence. I tell him again to go screw. Said I'm too tired to be running his errands.
I don't think he liked that very much. What did this Orthus person do?
Orthus says it's a milk run, a training exercise for new Legion recruits. They were escorting a minimum security shipment to Solitude. All I had to do was show the little cave rats what to look out for. They'd even be another senior soldier from the... what do you call it? Pennius Ocularium?
Pennitus Oculatus, I believe.
Hey, my ancestors were Colovian. We founded the Legion. It's the Nibbanese that made up all the little titles and rituals.
If anyone is wondering, I think Garm is available on console if you're looking for that mod. So I take it you went.
You bet your sweet roll I did. A man in my position doesn't pass up easy coin, even if it means dealing with Nibbanese worms. The trouble was, this senior Legion officer took exception to my reputation. Didn't like that the recruits looked up to an outsider. Especially a Colovian Imperial dressed in the armor of a Frosthugger.
And what did he do?
He tried to put me in my place. Said stuff that'd make the Daedra cover their ears. But I can give it as good as I can take it. Not that it was hard, what with that stupid Legion skirt he was wearing. Problem is, my insults worked too well. See, we were just up the road from here when we got ambushed by a snow bear.
Huh. Snow bears, right. Those things are relentless.
Uh-oh is right. Instead of trying to show me up, this Legionnaire coward gives way, forcing me to take the lead. I swear this bear came at me like I killed its sister, and I couldn't even lift Ebony over my head. The weight and the pain dropped me to the ground. Now I ain't no lily liver, but sometimes a man has to swallow his pride and ask for help. If only I asked. Instead, I looked back and screamed. Funny thing is, the officer, even the recruits, they were all laughing. I was so hysterical I didn't even notice the stupid bear was licking my face.
What happened after that?
Well, my ribs hurt so bad they had to carry me here. All the while, this Legionnaire has a grin on his face like an open wound. Not a week later, and there isn't a bard in Skyrim who isn't telling the tale of Morris the Jogger and the bear who pitied him.
Better than being eaten by a bear, I suppose. Yeah, so I thought that this character was very interesting. Again, this is a character totally written and acted by someone who was just, modding. I don't know if he could be a follower. I've never played with interesting NPCs on before. It'd be interesting if he could. Part of what I was thinking with Barrack is that, he's mostly traveled alone. I have had some followers temporarily, mainly the ones that are a part of interesting NPCs, and then maybe one vanilla follower as well in Dawnstar. But I was thinking, if he's going to take on the Dark Brotherhood, right? The Dark Brotherhood is basically, if you get a contract put on you by the Dark, if someone places a contract with the Dark Brotherhood on your life, you're toast. You're dead. If you're not familiar with the Elder Scrolls lore, you are absolutely done, right? It's almost sort of like the Antivan Crows in Dragon Age. Like, they have 100% success rate. Like, you are going to die. So, and that's the other thing too, is that Barrack is not a master fighter. As I said, he is a good soldier. In the journal entries that I've written, where he is reflecting on his time in the war.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Crap! Don't tell me it's taxes. Don't tell me it's taxes.
Let's see here. Looks like that's it.
God damn it.
Got to go.
Okay, no, I did have enough for the taxes. Okay, I also have a mod. That requires you to pay taxes, and it's pretty low right now. It's mainly just because I have a horse. If you have a follower permanently, or if you have a home, you're supposed to pay taxes. But from the immersion standpoint, I felt that it was legitimate for my roleplay purposes to say that if he built a cabin up in the mountains that nobody else knows about, why would he be paying taxes on it? So, when he gets a more permanent player home, I'll go ahead and turn on that toggle, and he'll have to pay more taxes for the house. And if he has a permanent employee, he'll have to pay taxes for that also. So I kind of figured that if Barrack is going to go fight the Dark Brotherhood, and he's not a legendary warrior, right? He's basically just someone who managed to survive a couple of wars. He survived the Great War with the Aldmeri Dominion, and then he also fought with Ulfric in the in the Reach when the Forsworn had taken over the Reach and taken over Markarth. And so he's basically just a guy who's managed to survive wars. But that doesn't make him a master warrior. If he's going to be taking on the Dark Brotherhood, he's going to kind of have to watch out a little bit. And so I thought maybe he would take someone with him, like he would call on someone that he knew of to help him take on the Dark Brotherhood. I thought that might make sense. Okay, so before we get going here, take a couple loaves of bread, and then let's potatoes and cabbage to. That was right. Inventory. Nice role-playing immersion of riding your horse directly up a mountain. That is one of the few things that I find frustrating about this hermit cottage mod, is they placed it in a really weird spot that you could never really get to in an easy way. I thought that was really strange. Okay, so we've got some food here, probably more than we even need, and we're pretty much ready to go. I don't know how I'm going to play this. On the one hand, I think he would want help to go get the Dark Brotherhood, but on the other hand, it's a little bit out of his way. And I'm trying to think of which people. Let's see, what day is it right now? So it's Freitas, which is the equivalent of Friday. There is one character who was a healer character, a priest of Kinnereth, who I teamed up with, who's another NPC, another character that's part of Interesting NPCs mod. And he said that he would be roaming the land, but that he would be at Temples of Kinnereth on days of rest, which should be like the weekend. If I could run into him, but I don't think there is a Temple of Kinnereth. So what does Barrick do, right? Does Barrick really go head on with the Dark Brotherhood alone, or does he try to recruit help? And what sort of what are the moral implications of him trying to face the Dark Brotherhood and risking someone else's life to do it? Should he just go alone? Like, should it just be him and Garm? Well, there is the guy, let's see. The guy in Valgus, right? No, Valgus was the healer that I can't remember the guy's name. He's the priest in Dawnstar who helps you get rid of the dreams. And I think he should be a follower now also. And that guy's got a lot to atone for, let's be honest. And I helped him, you know, sort of make up for his past. Maybe that guy would make sense as a follower. But then again, I don't know if the followers even get to come with you. So I'm a bit torn on what we'll do. Also, who would be crazy enough? Oh, okay. Dark Brotherhood is also about being sneaky. If you don't have a rogue follower for the RP, just go alone. I guess that makes sense. But then again, Barrick is not stealthy either, right? So, I mean, he's sort of a weird recruit for the Dark Brotherhood anyway. I guess at this point, it's like he doesn't even know where the Dark Brotherhood is. I mean, we know because we know how Skyrim works. You go and you find Aventus Aretino and Windhelm and then you summon the Dark Brotherhood. But he doesn't know that. He's just following a lead on a whim. So, unless he actually knows that he's about to go face the Dark Brotherhood, he's not going to bother someone else. He's just following a lead right now. So I think it makes sense that he would go alone for now, and then maybe if things start to get a little bit hairy, he might try and get someone to call in for backup. Also, I don't know if this is modded or if this is part of vanilla, but I noticed that once we got into like Sun's Dusk and Frostfall, more wolves and more wildlife started showing up on the road. Oh, damn, that wolf just got taken out by the ice wraith. I'm going to let them deal with that for a bit. And I assume that wolf is going to come over and bother me next. Oh, wow, the ice wraith just took out both wolves. How the ice wraith dealt with. So the road to Windhelm is not too bad. It's a pretty short ride. Make it in a couple of in-game hours. Okay. So we'll be there before. Oh wow! Speaking of the Dark Brotherhood, yep, this is what's been happening, even all the way out here in the woods.
Do your worst.
Oh, yeah. So. That's what happens when you try and assassinate Barrick Morrow on the side of the road. And here you can basically see, if you want some backstory, as instructed, you are to eliminate Barrick Morrow by any means necessary. The Black Sacrament has been performed. Somebody wants this poor fool dead. We've already received payment for the contract. Failure is not an option. And that's given by Astrid, who... Barrick has no clue who Astrid is, but he's going to find out. Where did my horse? So yeah, this has kind of been happening since he was in Falkreath, and it just hasn't really let up, even though he's all the way up here in the mountains now, and this is pretty much it. He realizes running is no longer going to... So yeah, he's kind of been up in the mountains now for you know, for several, well, not several, but maybe almost like 3 months. I had like pretty much all of Hearthfire, all of Frostfall, and now most of Sun's Dusk, which is the equivalent of October, November, December, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been quite cold, and it's only getting colder. We're getting into the dead of winter. And, he's had enough of being targeted by the Dark Brotherhood. He's going to have to do something. Also, you know, constantly just let me know if the audio is okay, if it's too low. I mean, you guys should be able to hear a little bit of the ambience, like the music and some of the sound effects, but if you can't hear anything, let me know. I can bump it. What do we have here?
Can't wait to count out your pearls.
Oh, that is one dead highwayman. Who just zapped him? Alright, somebody help me out. Yeah, so the roads are quite dangerous. This is not Dark Brotherhood, but this is just it's a highwayman. Who zapped him, though? He hit him with lightning right. Hello?
I'm on a pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura, the goddess of twilight.
Oh.
If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, no, I don't worship Daedra.
All right, then.
Yeah, and so as far as religion is concerned, Barrack is very much against... so is this RP... actually, the dragon... No, so this is a non... And I'm sorry, if it sounds like I'm saying Varric, it's Barrack, B-A-R-I-C. This is a non-dragonborn, just a total normal guy, veteran of the war, and he was really just trying to live a life before his wife and daughter were killed. And yeah, so religion-wise, he's very much against the worship of Daedra, even some of the supposedly good Daedra like Azura. He really thinks it's rather unnatural. He likes the 9 divines. He's not like a super religious guy, but he just thinks it's important to, you know, pray to the divines, etc. He's a big fan of Mara and Stendar and also Zenithar. He's not like a huge Talos guy, but he's pretty offended by the fact that after fighting the war with the Aldmeri Dominion, it's like, what were we fighting for if they still got to dictate the terms? If you're not familiar with Elder Scrolls lore, the Aldmeri Dominion, which are basically the High Elves, went to war with the Tamrielic Empire, and one of the things that they were fighting about was that they wanted to stop the worship of Talos. Talos is the deity name for Tiber Septim, who was basically like the founder of the Empire, and there's a ton of complex lore as to how/if Tiber Septim actually ascended to godhood. He kind of did, kind of didn't, depending on how you view the lore. But the Altmer, the High Elves, certainly believe that he did not, and they think that it's sort of blasphemy to count him among the 9 divines. And that's a whole thing, and so that was the Great War, where the Aldmeri Dominion basically tried to take over, and the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion fought. Barrack was a part of that war. That's probably about 25 years before the events of Skyrim. That was when he was very young. And so yeah, he after fighting in that war, he's sort of offended by the fact that the White Gold Concordat, which is essentially the peace treaty that ended the war, but many people thought of it not as a peace treaty, but more like a conditional surrender for the Empire, because the Aldmeri Dominion really dictated the terms, including outlawing the worship of Talos. So we're in Windhelm now. I have a mod called The Dawn of Skyrim, which it's kind of like JK's Skyrim, if you know about JK's Skyrim. It overhauls the cities, it adds more clutter, it changes the design, it adds certain aesthetic things, and it changes a little bit of the NPC AI in the city.
I made my fortune as a sea captain, but now I'm retired.
Yeah, well,
The townsfolk call me
I'm
captain
retired too, in
because
a
I
way.
used to be a sailor.
what sort of captain are you exactly?
Well, nothing. At least not anymore. Folk just call me that because of what I used to do. I was a sailor for many a year. I made my coin as a trader, and in time, I bought my own ship. When I retired
Industrious
here in
of you.
Windhelm, most folk already knew me as Captain Lonelygale, and the name just stuck. Fair winds and calm seas.
Fair
That's an
winds
old
to you,
sailor's
Captain
party.
Lonely Gale. I think I have anything to sell, really. I try not to travel with too much extra. Although it shouldn't be too cold in the city, right? Yeah, there's lots of fire, so I'm going to go ahead and change into less wintry clothes. I really like this sort of leather jerkin, and these are just some simple... This is light armor. Barrack has mainly been using heavy
Heard they're
armor.
reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Rifton. Might consider joining up myself.
I've heard. Yeah, so Dawnstar is probably... sorry, not Dawnstar, but rather... doing the vampire DLC is probably another thing that that I'll end up doing with this character. Actually, am I also hungry? We're a little bit hungry and we're thirsty, so we'll have the soup. Should handle both of that. He looks like Blackwall, except for the fact that he's really quite blonde, yes. Well, we're going to change that here in a second. This is really kind of an important thing for him, I think, right? The whole, like, coming down off of the mountain. And I talk about, I normally like to change the look of the characters while I'm playing to sort of represent the different phases. And I really kind of feel like this look was more about him being up on the mountains. And I don't know, maybe it's time to change it, maybe it's not, but we'll see. I think it's maybe time for him to lose the beard and go back to the shorter hair as he goes after the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah? What?
What combat perk overhaul am I using? I'm using Ordinator and Ultimate Combat. I also have a third-person camera mod, but it's only for when I'm in combat. Otherwise, I have it. Well, it's even when I'm not in combat, but I have it over the shoulder locked. It's not an adaptive view when I have the weapon sheathed. Unsheathed, it's yeah, unsheathed is it'll sort of move around me in combat. Ellie, do I use console commands for the face or that commands for that or the face changer? I have a mod that basically just lets you change it whenever you want, which is kind of, you know, I thought that that's really a lot more appropriate. If I just want to change the haircut, I don't understand why I'd have to go to a plastic surgeon. Okay, so again, I know exactly where Aventus Aretino is, but Barrack does not. So where would you go to find this Aretino boy? I guess you have to start in the market a bit. He knows the blacksmith. I don't think you can ask. I can't remember. I don't think you can ask other
May the
people
gods
about
watch
it.
over your battles, friend. The finest
Let me
weapons
see your
and
goods
armor.
real quick. Okay. Not supplies. I tend to buy Quicksilver just because it's harder to come by. Ask at the inn. I mean, it's not a bad idea, actually. I have lots of pelts to make leather. I think I'm going to buy anything yet. I might come back and get supplies later. But I can also go to Dawnstar for
Whether it's
support.
armor you need or a new blade, come see me.
Not too cold, am I? Right now, I'm especially next to the forge. He's not going to get cold. I also have a mod called Missives, which basically allows you to get radiant quests like collection or, you know, retrieve an heirloom, deliver a letter. Very basic little quests. But if you want to roleplay sort of a simplistic character, I was doing a lot more of these early on before I sort of caught on to what the main storyline for Barrack would be. Because again, I had no idea. as I started off at the very beginning saying, all I knew was that I wanted him to not be the Dragonborn, I wanted him to be older, and I wanted him to be recovering from a more sort of tragic experience late in his life. He didn't know what he was going to do. At first, he was basically just trying to help people. There were lots of bandits on the road. That's why his wife and child were killed. And he thought, well, I've got to start dealing with these bandits. So he was basically killing bandits wherever he could find them.
Anything. I think I've got a clean mug
And then he
around
was
here
doing whatever little quests he
somewhere.
could to sort of help people.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
I'm going to ask for rumors, but
Enjoy your stay.
a lot of times
And
that
those
automatically
dark elf
assigns you a
refugees will
radiant
take
quest,
over
which
the
I don't know
city
that
if
I
we aren't
want.
careful.
But I'm going to ask. Yes, well, there's nothing really wrong with the Dark Elves, is there? Have you heard any news or rumors floating about?
Here, take a look at this. Mind you don't put out that candle on the hearth upstairs.
Speak.
Giving me watch. Attention adventurers, there has been a suspicious-looking elf mage wandering the road from Windhelm to Jogren's Overlook, likely a Thalmor spy sent to infiltrate the city. If you see this elf, be sure to report your findings to the guard. Okay, well, very likely it's not a Thalmor spy. These people really don't know anything about the Thalmor. They don't have very much experience, certainly not as much experience as Barrack in fighting the Thalmor. And also, Windhelm has a problem with racism. They tend to think that dark elves are the same thing as high elves, and they're not really very enlightened in that perspective. So Barrack might check that out at some point, but that's not a priority. Now, he does know Brunwolf Freewinter, and he knows that he lives in this area. This well is not working. Normally, the wells you can get water from, but because this well was added by Dawn of Skyrim, I think that's going to work. Here we go. There's a boy here. I can maybe ask him about this Aventino boy.
Then it's true, what everyone is saying. That Aventus Aretino is doing the Black Sacrament? Trying to
Aretino?
summon the Dark Brotherhood?
Oh, Grimvar. Always with the nonsense. No, of course not. Those are just tales.
Fine, then I'll invite him out to play. He lives right there. I'm going to knock on his door.
No, child, wait! That boy, that house, they are cursed.
Ha! Then I'm right. I knew it. He's trying to have somebody killed.
All right, I won't deny it, child. What you heard is true, but Aventus Aretino walks a dark path. His actions can lead only to ruin. Now, enough. We will speak no more of this. I am the only friend you need. I try to keep Grimvar safe, but these are dangerous times.
Dangerous times indeed. Did I hear correctly? You said something about a cursed child living.
Yes. It is quite sad. A young boy, Aventus Aretino, lost his mother recently and was sent to an orphanage. But he has returned home, and people have heard strange chanting. They say it's the Black Sacrament, the ritual to contact the Dark Brotherhood. Why a little boy would want to contact a group of murderers is beyond me. But he is inviting evil into this city. Until next time.
Alright, so now we have our lead. And it would seem child is find Brotherhood. Door is locked. I don't think ask the, but in any event, I'm not breaking and entering to deal or anything. Trying to save a child.
Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. sweet mother, send your child unto me, for the sins of the unworthy must be baptized in blood and fear. Sweet mother, send your... You've come at last! I knew you would!
Are you okay?
It worked! I knew you'd come, I just knew it! I did the Black Sacrament over and over with the body and the things, and then you came, an assassin from the Dark Brotherhood.
I'm sorry, boy, but I'm not who you think I am.
Of course you are. I prayed, and you came, and now you'll accept my contract.
Contract?
My mother, she died. I'm all alone now. So they sent me to that terrible orphanage in Rifton, Honor Hall. The headmistress is an evil, cruel woman. They call her Grella the Kind, but she's not kind. She's terrible to all of us. So I ran away and came home and performed the Black Sacrament. Now you're here, and you could kill Grella the Kind. Please hurry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hated getting sent to Honor Hall, I really miss my friends there.
First of all, I love how you guys have coined the term potato
Please don't feel
child.
confident, Michelle.
Edgy
He really
potato
is
child.
kind.
There is, of course, a mod to make the kids look not so potatoey. I don't bother with it because it's just sort of a detail I don't really
Broad
care.
is the head. It's Honor Hall Orphanage in Rifton.
Tell me about your mother. What happened?
She got sick last winter when the snows came, and she never got better. Not all year. One night, she fell asleep and never woke up. So now I'm all alone, and the Jarl said I have to go into Honor Hall Orphanage. It's not fair!
An orphanage can't be the worst thing. Are you sure about this boy murdering this woman?
I've never been more sure about anything in my entire life. Someone like Broad doesn't deserve to live one more day. She's a monster! Please hurry. To be honest, I'm kind of lonely here. As much as I hate it.
So Barrick knows that this kid, obviously bad situation. He's basically living on his own. There's a note here. Master of Ventus Aretino, Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak wishes to express his deep sympathies to the death of your mother, Nalia. Unfortunately, because you are fatherless and have no other known relatives, the Jarl cannot allow you to remain in your home unsupervised. Therefore, in no more than a week's time, you are to report to Honor Hall Orphanage in Rifton, where you will reside until your 16th birthday. The Aretino family home in the city of Windhelm will, of course, remain your property. The building will be secure, locked, and ready for your hence. Note that I am unsure of the education provided to you by your recently deceased mother, or if you possess the ability to read the letter I am currently composing. Therefore, a member of the city guard will call upon you in 1 week at your home and provide escort to the orphanage. Hopefully his arrival will not come as a complete shock. With greatest respect, Yorlif, steward to our most noble Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak. So in this case, Barrick is trying to track down the Dark Brotherhood. Now he's found this kid. This kid is kind of crazy. This kid wants to murder this lady who he hasn't even gone to this, he's gone to the orphanage. He knows that she's cruel, but, murder is not going to be on the menu for Barrick. He knows that killing this woman is wrong, and he also knows that he needs to find the Dark Brotherhood somehow. So, first things first, we have to get to Rifton. And Rifton is, it's not the furthest thing away, but it's not close exactly. And also, I pretty much never use fast travel as part of the immersion aspect of things. So, we've got to figure out a way to get to Rifton that is at least somewhat reasonable. So I have murder on the menu. I have a mod installed that actually allows you to turn her into the guards. for being so cruel and for the child abuse, etc. And we'll get to test that out. Gosh, yeah, Rifton is not exactly close. So we can take the more eastern route and kind of go past Kynes Grove, but I don't know. Around Crags Lane Cavern, I don't like this. This is going to be sort of annoying. But it does kind of seem like it's the more direct path through, as opposed to going this way and then looping around. Yeah, so we're going to have to do this. Go past Kynes Grove, take this sort of road up into the mountains, through the mountains, and then down, and then we'll get to Rifton. Oh, that's right. Okay, so Ellie brings up a good point. I do use carriages. So I could take a carriage to Rifton. That's true. Yeah, so I could take a carriage, but I'm really wondering, he's never, so in this case, I'm going to say that Barrick has, he's been to Rifton at some point in his life because he's lived in Skyrim, but he hasn't been there recently, and he may just say, I will save myself the expense of the carriage and just ride to Rifton. Yeah, so we don't actually want to be in the Dark Brotherhood. We want to destroy the Dark Brotherhood. We're trying to go for a little bit of subterfuge. We want the Dark Brotherhood to reveal themselves to us so that we can destroy them. It is late, and I'm wondering if he should go now because it is going to be colder at night as opposed to traveling during the daytime. But regardless, we're going to have to... I tend to camp with him also. I tend to not use inns very much because I've sort of roleplay him as being rather capable of sort of living in the outdoors. Alright, I may end up regretting this because, again, as part of the mod add-on that I have to Frostfall, it does make things colder at night pretty significantly. But I'm gonna ride for Rifton and probably camp overnight. Or maybe I should just, you know what? Why don't I just camp out here? In the bloody cold. It's gonna be really interesting. I'll show you guys the camping feature. So there's a mod called Campfire. One of my favorite mods. It really goes well with Frostfall. Small leather tent. The fur tent, rather. Fur tent would be better. And I should have the firewood. Of course. We'll also need branches, and then probably maybe like a linen wrap for kindling. So for the HUD, yes, thank you. I'm actually very proud of the HUD. The HUD is, first of all, Sky UI, and then Sky HUD, and iHUD, and I'm using a mod called A Matter of Time. And A Matter of Time is really cool. It lets you put the time, the date, and also, different visual elements on there. So I have... My compass is actually not just the compass. You can see it fades slightly differently. There's the compass, and then there's the A Matter of Time thing, and I have those overlaid on top of each other with the transparency set down. iHUD does my health, magicka, and stamina. You'll see on the right-hand side, the stamina only appears when the stamina bar is not full. So it's a pretty elaborate UI setup, but I quite enjoy having it this way. Took forever to get it right, also. Okay, so we're gonna place our tent. Next thing we're gonna do is, I think I might need a couple more branches to get the fire started. So we're gonna find some branches real quick. I found 5 branches and Garm found 2 branches, which I find quite useful. Thanks, Garm. Now we'll build a campfire here. I love this because if you put the campfire too close to the tent, it can actually set the tent on fire. And so now we'll start off with some branches. We will add linen wraps as some tinder. And then we'll use our strike stone to go ahead and light it. If you are a magic user, this character is not, and your destruction is 20 or higher, you can use a flame spell to light the fire. And campfire actually comes with its own skill trees, and so you can actually level up your camping skills so you can start fires faster in worse weather, etc., etc. And you can see camping perk progress has increased. So we'll use this to make branches to make a flickering fire, and then firewood to make a crackling fire, and then more firewood to make a roaring fire. And so this fire you'll get stat boost from having like the inspiration, quote unquote, from a warm fire. And you can also use it to level up your skills. I don't think I have any perks unlocked. Now I'm 70% to my next perk. Same for the Frostfall. This guy's gonna walk straight through the fire. The best way for us to win the Lord's respect is through hard work. This guy is apparently he's not afraid of fire. Hey there, sir.
Too many Dark Elves in Windhelm complain about the way we're treated.
Yeah, well, you're kind of standing right in the fire, bro. All right, yeah, we're good on food, and amazingly, even as cold as it is, the fire is doing its job, so. All right, good deal. Now it's about 4 a.m., which is fine because we need to get an early start if we're riding for Rifton. Have a bit more. We'll have bread. And we'll... There we are. Okay, packing up the tent, and then up the campfire. Sometimes you'll recover unused, like if all the wood doesn't burn, but I don't think that was the case here. It isn't. Also, there's a lantern mod, which I've now just used. You can actually see the lantern that's sort of clipped onto the back of his belt there. And the lantern does require oil as well, which you do have to buy. Branches and the tent, And well, we don't have any extra firewood. Also, I really love this backpack mod because when you put the tent in your inventory, it shows the tent on your backpack. When you take the tent off out of your inventory, put it back on the horse, it takes the tent off, which is Yes, yeah, so Ellie mentions that there is also a lantern, a bug lantern, which is really cool. You can get one of the firefly, capture a firefly and then put it in the lantern. The weather mod that I have installed is Obsidian Weathers and Seasons. It also makes nights darker, which is something that a lot of weather/lighting mods do, and it's really frackin' dark. Yeah, I could. Somebody is fighting something up. Oh crap. What the heck? Oh, that's a hunter. No, that's somebody. Hang on. Is fighting who right here? Oh, Vigilant. And this looks like a vampire. I am going to help this Vigilant of Stendar fight this vampire if we can. Apparently,
I knew I'd find you. Are you prepared to die?
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Well met, friend. We've been chasing that fiend for a long time. On behalf of the Vigil, you have my thanks.
Happy to help. Yeah, Barrack likes the
None
Vigilance of
escaped the
Stendar.
Vigil. All come into the light.
Ooh, Flawless Garnet. That thing. Right, I will take that also. Vampire Dust, and I don't want any of their other crap. Yeah, Barrack's a big fan of the Vigilance of Stendar. He likes Stendar. He likes justice and all these different things. And so vampires, not a big fan of vampires or werewolves for that matter. He finds them to be unnatural, and if he can help Vigilance of Stendar, he will. Barrack's sword arm is sick. Yeah, well, it's, you know, it's experience is what it is. Alright, we'll continue going south, and then we'll go a bit east, and then south some more, and then we'll have to go. What? Oh, here's some wool. I've gotten decent at horseback combat. Still not the best, but it's pretty decent. Someone asked what made me decide to want to show us Skyrim, and really I would just say it was an opportunity where I was going to have to do a solo one, and I've been playing Skyrim recently, and as I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I really still feel like I've never done a good enough job of explaining or showing why I think Skyrim is such an interesting roleplay platform, why it's so interesting to do character studies, and I really think that it makes me a better character writer, you know, in my own writing, and that is a giant spider coming. There we go. And so, yeah, I just thought that doing sort of a roleplay focused stream might kind of show what's one of the reasons why I still like Skyrim, why I still play Skyrim to this day, and hopefully give other people some ideas about some things that they might want to try. Right, well, at least the sun's coming up, but now it's raining. Also, when you're wet, obviously makes the cold worse. This should be the road we need to take and kind of wind up this mountain, and then we'll keep going east. Also, I think this rain looks amazing. I don't know if everyone agrees, but compared to vanilla rain or some of the other what ENBs do with rain, I have an ENB on, but I have the rain. It doesn't touch rain. I just like True Storms the way it looks. I also like what the sound does. Oh, you know what? That's probably why the music is so low, because in the cabin, really quite high. Out here, it's not bad. The vanilla music is so loud. All right, we're halfway, a little more than halfway to Rifton. Good. The environment and rain, border banners mod. Yes, that is also another one that I have. Oh, that's a bear. That's a fucking bear. Yeah, we're gonna need the shield for this. Okay, more bear meat, because you can never have enough bear meat if you're Barrack Morrow. Horse, come here. Where are you going, home? Again, the bear meat will go bad in my inventory, so I store it, and for immersion purposes, on the horse, I have ice wraith teeth, because they established that in the lore. There's the one merchant in Rifton who says, if you can get me ice wraith teeth, it'll help keep my meat fresher longer. So, yeah, that's just a little bit of self-imposed immersion restriction there. Someone said that this makes it look like Middle-earth to them. I don't know if I get a Middle-earth vibe necessarily, but definitely maybe the mood at the moment is a bit dreary. Still on the right road? Yes. Yeah, we'll keep. Could be passing for stone. Let's see, are we cold? We're cold and damp. Okay, so that's not a good combination. In? Well, the rain is letting up. That's good. Okay, so the rain is letting up. Let's get close to this fire, and that will help us up. Otherwise, the cold... Oh, now the rain is coming back. Never... This is not an inn, is it? No, that's a house. This is a blacksmith. Okay. We've got some shelter from the rain, and we'll use the forge to warm up. Jesus, the frigid air cuts through the heat. You are getting colder. Okay, now I'm starting to warm. Yeah, no inns in Shore Stone. I forgot about that, but yeah. Awesome fanboy says, keep your meat fresher, eh? I mean, look, like I said, I wasn't going to do a bunch of dick jokes for this stream, but you guys got me covered. Rest assured, the community will provide the dick jokes if I don't. All right, while Barrick is getting his hands warmed up, I am going to take a small break, and I'll be back in maybe just a couple of minutes, super short. I love the ambience created by True Storms. Just hearing the rain, it really just sounds quite nice. Peaceful, you know? All right, only 7:22, and we're already almost at Rifton, so we're doing great time. Guess we must have left Windhelm at, like, later than that. What about hunger? Yeah, he's not too hungry. All right. Onward. Are we pressing F for fresh meat? Press F for, oh wait, okay, so along the road to Rifton, it looks like there's a fort. Means probably bandits, which is a problem, except that Barrick likes getting rid of bandits. Huh. There is another road you could take, but, you know, Barrick has been meaning... Wait, is this a storm cloak? I can't tell. I'm so sorry. I forgot to take it off of the screen. Thank you all for reminding me. Also, I am a dummy. I'm going around this fort now. Everybody can see, or at least you should be able to. You know, I right, instead of the mic, it's now the standby screen. Are these bandits or are these Stormcloaks? Nope, they're bandits. Okay. I don't like bandits, and so we're gonna deal with these guys. Stay. And I've been meaning to test out the new armor. So, let's test it out. First of all, they are chasing Garm like crazy because he just draws a lot of attention. Time block and whew. I also, in addition to the combat mod, I have a mod called OBIS Bandits or Organized Bandits, and it makes bandits generally a lot tougher. I don't know where Garm is gone. I assume he's just wrecking shop somewhere, but... Holy crap, I think that might be it. Might be some of them. Nope, there's more. I'm up on this. I really like this armor, too. With my blacksmithing skill up as high as it is, I was able to temper it pretty well. Oh, and his head is gone. There. Oh, there we go. That is just right off the tower. Now, you know, he might have needed that at some point. I know heads are pretty important as far as living goes, but he's going to have to just make do without it. Sorry, bandit outlaw archer. Barrick really doesn't like doesn't like bandits, so... Okay. Well, it is early in the day. I suppose I can go ahead and clear out this fort on the inside. I assume there's more... I assume there are more cowardly bandits hiding from justice in here. Not using Wildcat, using Ultimate Combat. Ultimate Combat 3.0, I believe. I don't actually, and this is blasphemy in Skyrim community, I don't like Wildcat. I don't like the fact that every little thing uses stamina. In particular, in the early game, I think it just leads to a lot of boring fights where everybody's gassed and nobody can fight. I understand that people like it. I can totally see why people like it for the locational damage and all that stuff. No knock on anybody who does like it, just not for me. I just kind of like, so far I'm liking Ultimate Combat.
Use your smarts, he said. Is someone there?
Time to end this little
Yeah,
game.
somebody's here.
Over here!
Hand on my wall! Die, damn you!
got that guy. There's a freaking guy shooting arrows at me. And he missed, too. I also have the perk where if their arrow hits directly on the shield, it does nothing. Okay. There probably are more bandits. Oh wow, wait a second. See, this is like these are these little touches in Skyrim that I really like. I killed these bandits. I did not kill these Khajiit. So are these just Nord bandits who hate Khajiit? Is that what happened? Because if so, that's really dark. Like I found another one that was like that with a high elf. And that's you know, that also kind of goes into Barrick's backstory where he fought against the Altmer in the Great War. But he doesn't hate high elves. He doesn't think that all high elves are like the Thalmor. He doesn't think that, you know, Skyrim should only be for the Nords or anything like that. Oh, here we go. Yeah, basically they had... Had him in a cage. That's just... Runil, who is one of the NPCs in Falkreath, is a veteran of the war, and I had a really interesting little journal entry that I wrote about how, you know, Barrick kind of relates to Runil in a lot of ways. Like, they both fought in the war, but they're not, like, ideologues. They don't think that their side is the only way. You know, they fought in the war because they were kids and you had to go to war. You know, that's what you had to do. And so neither one of them holds any animus in a blanket way against, you know, Nords, Imperials, Altmer, none of that stuff. You know, Barrick is not, he's not still trying to fight the war, although he is starting to realize that the Thalmor in many ways are, and he's concerned about that. He doesn't hold any grudges from the war. Garm, get out of the way. Get out of the way, Garm. Thank you. Alright, I think there might be one more tower. I would highly recommend trying Skyrim and just get the special edition. I know there's tons of editions and it's kind of like a joke at this point, but yeah, just get Skyrim special edition and that will that'll set you up. That's what you need to get. You know, then go and download something like Vortex for a mod manager. That's probably the simplest one to get. Get Vortex, go on to Nexus mods for Skyrim SE, and just have at it.
Is someone there?
Yeah, someone's here. You are in trouble.
We are routed!
We are routed. Yeah, you ain't kidding, bro. Oh, this person has armor, too. Woo! Oh, they're gonna be tough. Yeah, this bandit chief is gonna be tough. This is what I love about this mod is the bandit chiefs actually get tough. If they keep their shield up. Yeah, that's the combination of ultimate combat and then organized bandits. This Spellbinder runic armor is starting to get distributed in leveled lists a lot. And I'm tired of picking it up. I've already got a copy of it and broken it down. Oh, and coin purse. Alright, I think this should... I am in no way ready to do it. But... I'm not sure why that needed to be an expert lock, but it is. Yeah, here's our headless friend, our now headless friend. Also, even though it is still sun's dusk, it's not nearly as cold as we've gone south. Because Rifton is actually a pretty temperate climate. The Rift is a very temperate climate as far as most of the holes go. What do I have marked? I don't care about that. This is us. Go this away. Yeah, this is an armor called Wandering Knight. I quite love it. I love the fact that it's got like the open face, so I can see the beard and the head, and I like the hood meshed with the helmet. This is the Shield of Solitude, a shield that looks like a normal shield when you complete the Potema quest in Solitude. I have a mod installed which actually makes... But yeah, I like this armor. I feel like it's not flashy, it's not fancy, but it's still in good shape. It feels like exactly something that Barrick would wear. And yeah, I think since it's a little bit warmer here, he's probably going to keep the armor on. And this is just like, this is where the visuals of Skyrim can still shine. I have a ton of texture mods on. This ENB is really quite good, and I think Obsidian Weathers really makes the real difference. Oh, if you guys are wondering about the horse, yeah, I don't look. Sometimes that's helpful if the horse gets lost. I don't like to overuse it, but whenever I don't see the horse, I go, I don't know where the horse is. Getting attacked by... Hear combat music. Where is Garm? Garm, what are you trying to kill right now? For some reason it decided to play... Which horse is better, Inquisition or Skyrim? Inquisition's horses are terrible. Skyrim's are not great, but maybe just a tad better. They're actually necessary or useful, so... Alright, we have made it to Rifton. We must now find Grella the Kind. We'll go ahead and park our horse here in the stables. And,
Hold there. Before I let you into Rifton, you need to pay the visitor's tax.
Visitor's tax? What exactly is the visitor's tax for?
For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter?
You're obviously a thief. I kill thieves. I could go that harsh. My speech skill is pretty decent, but we'll just go with, this is obviously some form of extortion.
All right, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you? I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate.
Yeah, Barrick's not having any of that.
The gate's
Take
unlocked.
my advice.
You can
Don't
head
listen
inside
to that
when you're
talk
ready.
of the face sculptor down in the ragged flagon. Face butcher is more...
Happy May 4th, by the way. I can't believe it's taking me this long to acknowledge it. May the 4th be with you. And, yeah, I was very tempted to almost do a KOTOR stream last minute and change it, but we had already decided it was going to be a Skyrim stream for today, so...
Rifton, home of the Thieves Guild. Or so they'd have you
Thieves
believe.
Guild has
It's
made
all
a
lies.
Blackbriar at
They're
its
just
back.
thugs. Very
One
good.
snap of her fingers and you could end up in Rifton jail. Or worse,
Thieves Guild. Yeah, Barrick might not be too much a fan
I
of.
don't know you. You and Rifton looking for trouble?
Passing through.
Yeah? Well, I got news for you. There's nothing to see here. Last
I'll
thing
be
the
the judge of that.
Blackbriars need is some stranger sticking their nose where it doesn't belong.
Who are the Blackbriars exactly?
The Blackbriars have Rifton in their pocket, and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you.
So he wants me to... I don't know, he wants to be an informant exactly. I don't know why Barrick would be interested in this to begin with. Yeah, that's fine. Just do whatever you do, man.
Suit yourself. I'll be at the docks if you change your mind.
And yeah, so
I'm really getting tired of your excuses.
Dawn of Skyrim
when
is
you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time.
pretty subtle here for Rifton, but I like it.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quieter, and nothing would have happened to us.
Alright, let's see if we can find someone who knows where Grella the Kind is.
If you've got the coin, you've come to the right place. Pull up a seat.
People of
You're a
Rifton,
stranger here too,
heed
huh?
my words. The return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile liquids, and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Kine.
No, Marama. We talked about this. Talon?
Kirava, certainly we can come to some sort of an understanding. These people must be made aware of the chaos they've sown.
Enough, Maramal. We've all heard of the dragons and their return. There's no need to use them as an excuse to harass our customers.
Very well, Talon. I'll remove myself from this den of iniquity.
Den of Iniquity, he's a bit dramatic.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep the sermons at the temple and let us all sin in peace.
Yeah, the backpack is fantastic. Even the amulet of Stendar that's hanging from the back it's added dynamically, right? So if you have an amulet of Stendar and the backpack, you can combine them at a hanging rack. Can I get some info?
If you've got the coin, you're welcome here. Otherwise, hit the road. Rifton's biggest exports used to be fishing and honey until the Blackbriar family moved in. Now the meadery is the biggest game in town.
Understandable.
Come
Thanks,
back and see
Kirava.
us again.
Suppose I've got time to explore. It's still only 1 in the afternoon. You look like a very capable fellow.
My skill in battle is unmatched. Fortunately for you, that skill can be bought.
If I run into the Dark Brotherhood, I might call you.
If you change your mind, seek me out here.
Forgot about good old Mercurio. Orphan.
You're like me, huh?
Running a
Don't
little
fancy
light in
those
the pockets,
clunky
lad?
two-handed weapons.
I'm sorry, what?
Your pockets. They're a little low on coin. I can tell.
How could you possibly know that?
It's all about sizing up your mark, lad. The way they walk, what they're wearing. It's a dead giveaway.
My wealth is none of your concern.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong, lad. Wealth is my business.
Oh, shut up.
I can take a hint, lad. You want to make some coin?
Yeah, so I've listened to Brynjolf's scheme.
If you're
Never
looking
gonna
for a
happen.
handout, you'll want to speak with my husband. If you're looking for
Let's see. That looks like the main keep. Means. Do they have maybe Right, is this Shrine to Mara? Oh, here's the missive board. That's empty. I don't know why it would be empty. That's kind of weird. Yeah, this is Mara's temple.
Protect yourself right.
That would be a manor for Blackbriars. It's not for me. Here's the main keep and there we are. Honor Hall Orphanage. Very good. Since I do have a mod installed for what's about to happen, I am going to make another save point. And we'll see how things go. I love how Garm just like instinctively blocks doorways.
Those who shirk their duties will get an extra beating. Do I make myself clear?
Yes,
Yes,
Grellid.
And one more thing. I will hear no more talk of adoption. None of you riffraff is getting adopted, ever. Nobody needs you. Nobody wants you. That, my darlings, is why you're here. Why you will always be here, until the day you come of age and get thrown into that wide, horrible world. Now, what do you all say?
We love you, Grellid. Thank you for your kindness.
That's better. Now scurry off, my little gutter snipes.
It is quite...
Please, mister. You gotta get me out of here.
You
Ever
really
since
shouldn't
Avengers
be here.
left, Grellid's been even meaner than usual.
Is this Grellid woman always like that?
Sadly, yes. Even the townsfolk have taken to calling her Grellod the Kind. Her very existence has become something of a running joke. Grellod runs this orphanage because she's old and set in her ways and doesn't know any other life. These children need love and comfort. I try. But I'm sorry. You should go. The children aren't up for adoption, and it's cruel to get their hopes up. Besides, Grellod hates visitors.
Why not report her? Surely there's something we can do about this.
If there's nothing else, I really must...
I'll have a talk with this Grellid woman. I mean, surely she can be reasoned with.
What do you want? You have no business being in here. What are you staring at, you worthless piece of gutter trash? I simply must start locking the door.
Yep, unfortunately, she's beating these children and also perpetrating verbal abuse, so gonna have to tell the guards about this. Also, I think it might be that this one doesn't have voice acting, so... You there, guard. Well, you don't look like a big guard. Hang on, let me get a bulkier guard.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect... Everything all right?
Not...
If you're looking to settle in Rifton, there's a house for sale. Honeyside. See the steward in the keep if you want it.
Okay. Yes, okay. This Grellid woman has been abusing the children in the orphanage. Arrest her.
What in the world?
Very good. Alright. No, for the love of God, please tell me he can... The nav mesh can actually get him inside. Alright, well that's good. I'm turning subtitles back off. Garm, you're gonna have
really shouldn't be
get out of
here.
the way of the nice guard, please. Garm. Garm.
I'm sorry, but the children aren't up for adoption right now. You should go.
Need something?
Yeah, she's here. Are we gonna get her?
Hold it there. Keep your distance.
Alright, whoa, okay, you just...
You have committed crimes against Skyrim and her people. What say you in your defense?
You talk...
Why, how dare you?
Well, that's
my only
an interesting tactic. I see we're trying to give her a chance to come out peacefully.
All right. You are now under arrest.
You should respect your...
What can I do for you?
Constance, get out of the way. Dangerous.
Oh, did you need something?
I'm not quite sure what's happening. I don't know if she's gonna, like, surrender now. Guy's not really...
What can I do for you?
Okay, he's got his... Oh, she just took a knife out. She just took a knife out.
I'm really afraid of Grelin. One of Ventus escaped.
Oh, she's... Oh!
I can't believe it! Grelin is dead?
What? Oh, she just... Look, she couldn't. She couldn't. She just couldn't accept the fact that she was gonna end up in jail. That was it. That was it. She just couldn't, well, she has a book called The Pig Children. Good idea. And, yeah.
Victory is yours! Someone has killed Grelin!
Yeah, the guard just had to take her out. Yeah, fee-haw for Grelot. Is that how this mod is supposed to work? Yes, actually that is how the mod is supposed to work. I thought it might be interesting if she was just arrested. But the way that it works is she dies anyway, and that's the best way to smoothly go into the Dark Brotherhood quest. Yeah, so this is a mod. This is vanilla. I just thought for my good character, he wants to destroy the Dark Brotherhood, but he doesn't actually want to murder Grelod to get a chance to join. So he's going to go back to Aventus and say she's dead, and she is. And so the Dark Brotherhood just assumes, I guess, that I killed her.
Jewelry with legendary Argonian craftsmanship. Gems, potions, exotic
Looking to stay
ingredients.
alive?
I have them all.
20 septims each.
What do you need?
It is Innocence Lost alternative, something like that. If you just look up, Skyrim SE Innocence Lost alternative mod, something like that, it should show up. Okay. It took us quite a while to get here. I am not going to ride all the way back to Windhelm. I'm just going to go ahead and take a carriage this time, and then we can go ahead and tell Aventus. Sarah Marie J says, guys, serious question. I have 2 oatmeal cookies and only 2. Do I eat one now or both? That depends. When is the next... When was your last meal? When is your next meal? Sort of depends. I think if you just had a meal and it's like, hey, you're totally ready for dessert, go ahead and knock them both out. If you're going to have a meal coming up soon, you might want to have one now to hold you off, one after. I don't know. I'm being very logical about your cookie eating strategy. I'm sorry. God, it's starting to rain again. And put the fur mantle on. Time. Or actually, the helmet has a hood also. Quite love. No, we're good. We're not particularly thirsty or hungry. Oh, now I'm slightly thirsty. Oh, crap. Let me do something. I had switched off realistic needs for a second before the stream to test something out. No, I think I did have them at default settings. Okay.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Can I hire?
Need a ride?
Yes.
Where do you want to go?
Hire your carriage. Take me to Windhelm. Take me, the Pale.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
No, wait, not the Pale.
My carriage is... Where do you want to go?
East March.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Straight to Windhelm.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. Windhelm's a bit cold for my tastes. And I ain't talking about the weather.
I'm
not from Windhelm, are you?
I think we are now probably past 2 hours, but honestly, I'm good. I'm gonna keep going here. I want to at least get through the initial Dark Brotherhood meeting, even if we don't go through the entire destruction of them when you go to the lair. I want to at least get through that first meeting. So as long as everybody is still down for more, I'm gonna keep going.
Heard they're reforming the dog?
Also, I am curious, you know, because I said if people like these, I mean, if you guys let me know, what do you think of this so far? Would you want to see me stream Skyrim regularly? I know it can be a little bit on the tedious side with sort of the style of play, but if you guys like it, I will make a new character specifically for stream.
Well, Grelod the Kind. Is she, you know...
Dead. Not by my hand, but she's dead.
Aha! I knew you could do it. I just knew it. I knew the Dark Brotherhood would save me. Here, just like I promised. This should fetch you a nice price. Thank you. Thank you again.
So, what is that family heirloom anyway? Like a trinket? It's a plate. He literally gave me a plate. Fun. I'm literally going to go over to the Grey Quarter and sell this. Thanks for the plate, potato child. Yeah, no kidding. Kid gave me a plate. Like, I mean, as far as I didn't actually, but as far as he's concerned, I just murdered someone for him, and he has rewarded me with a plate. Not really sure that that is just compensation, but he is a kid, so... God, I wish these wells worked. I really did. Really do.
Yes?
I like the extra food stands here, though, I gotta say. Where is Sadri's affairs? Here we go.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have questions. All my goods are legitimate, which is more than I can say for some. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
I can sell one of these minor knight necklaces. I don't use venom or poisons because Barrack is basically too honorable for all that. I don't need these mountain flowers. I don't care about the vampire dust. We'll sell the potato child plate. And yeah, we'll sell the garnet. Sadri have anything that we... I might stock up on more lantern oil, really. Oh, he's got boar stew. How interesting. Rather expensive, but okay. Alright, we're good.
Do come again.
Now I believe after we sleep, we should Could be encountered by the Dark Brotherhood. In this case, I will go ahead and get a. Is that a?
Farm work is hard work. It's
What
good to relax
the
when
heck?
you can.
That is
But I
very
still have to
interesting.
listen to my brothers harping about
The Strider.
injustices.
Huh.
What do you need?
Yeah, normally we've been sleeping by camping, but I kind of figure in this case, every now and then Barrack will treat himself to actually having a bed when he's. So we'll go ahead and get a room at the Candle Hearth Inn. God, I really like how the lighting looks at night too. It's really quite good.
Come on in. We've got warm food, warm drinks, and warm beds.
I tell you, the dragon.
Got some fresh baked bread and good cheese if you're after a bite to eat.
No, just a room,
Those
please.
dark elf refugees will take over this city if we aren't careful.
There's plenty of room for all of us. I'd like to rent a room, please.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Come on, Garm. There you go. Good boy. Move out of the way.
For the darkness has passed, and the legend yet grows. You'll know the Dragonborns come.
I will say that it is going to be a little bit difficult to manage the survival aspect of it while you're early level, because it's very easy to become over encumbered, etc. But I love that challenge. I don't know how that's going to work out on stream. There were literally times where my character was almost freezing to death and couldn't run because I was over encumbered, and that might be kind of frustrating to watch, but it's part of the experience.
May the gods watch over your battles.
It's
friend.
very satisfying when your character starts to become
Have you
capable.
heard these stories of dragons?
Elder,
That's
you
why I
know
like
better
it.
than to believe every idiot traveler that wants.
got some nice meals there.
But they're saying that one of them freed Ulfric. That he's in league with them.
I like how this is my
Think about
room
how
and they're just like
ridiculous that
talking.
sounds. Come now.
I guess I'm just supposed to sleep while they have a conversation in my room, standing over.
What is it, my love?
People should keep to themselves.
I like how you guys have just put together this entire fiction around the plate. He gave you the plate so you can keep serving revenge. When vengeance is called, it's best to put it on a platter and serve. I love it. I love it. Okay. I think we're just down to bread, honestly. Right there. Bread and mead. Never too early for mead. Oh, wait. Should the Dark Brotherhood not have announced themselves? We do have a fun crowd. That is honestly one of the best parts about these streams, is no matter what we're doing, even when the content of the stream is slightly more serious, you guys keep it nice and light and fun. So we can talk about a widower farmer who at one point was suicidal, now trying to destroy the Dark Brotherhood, and yet still the jokes come.
This is an ode to Skyrim's truest
So,
sons and daughters.
I'm very interested.
The Stormcloaks.
I'm going to switch this up real quick, because I thought that when you kill Grelod and then you go to sleep, that the Dark Brotherhood will reach out to you. So I'm going to look this up real quick on uesp.net and see what exactly happens from here. I'm reading, and it's basically what I always understood it to be, which is that you have to sleep. Oh, go to another town first to get a letter, then go to sleep. Oh, that's right. We got to get the message from We Know. That's right. Okay. You guys are on point. I forgot about that. That's right. You get the message that says We Know. There you go. I almost forgot to switch back to gameplay. Also,
got those
buy
dark.
some more.
Let's sate that appetite.
Let's see. She does have some beef stew, apple cabbage. What the heck? One of each. And I think I've still got some bread left. And I have dried meat on the horse.
Enjoy your
I
stay.
need to go down to rations. You guys turn everything into a double entendre. All right, let's see. I'm gonna check one other thing real quick. I know we have to wait for mysterious note. Then, where is that abandoned shack? Yeah, it's like halfway across the world, isn't it? It's all the way back in... Yeah, I think it's all the way back in Windhelm. Okay, so if we're gonna have to travel anyway, we should get back west, because we're all the way on the east part of Skyrim, and that abandoned shack is gonna be in Hjalmarch. I think maybe closer to Solitude than Morthal, if I recall correctly. And so in that case, yeah, if we're gonna have to travel, we'll take a carriage back to... I guess it makes sense to go to Solitude. I'm just trying to think for the roleplay, why would he be going back to Solitude? Solitude is a bit out of the way. Alright, so more than likely he might actually just be heading back towards the cabin for a bit. So let's go to Halejarkin, and then if anything happens from there, we'll ride up to Dawnstar and then take Dawnstar to... I forgot to switch the screen again. I know. Okay, there we go. This is gonna be like, well, I guess it's mainly like me forgetting to turn the unmute the mic, but it's, you know, I forget to unmute the mic. For a while there, Katie forgot to change the difficulty on Dragon Age Origins. You know how it goes.
Where do you want to go?
If I could, I'd like to go back to the tail.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Off a hill jarkin.
Climbing back, and we'll be off. You ever met one of them cats? Khajiit, I think they call themselves. I hear there's whole countries full of them down south.
Yes, if we're going to destroy the Dark Brotherhood, we're going to at some point go to the Penitus Oculatus building that's near Dragon Bridge, right? I wonder if the courier is going to be able to find me all the way up on the cabin. I think he did once for taxes, because no matter where you are, they'll find you for taxes.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug? Need a room? Or maybe just some mead?
Want to see what you have for sale?
Let's sate that appetite, hmm?
Here, have an empty bottle. Alright, I'm kind of just trying to walk in and out of places to see if it doesn't trigger the courier. So far, God, the visuals in this game just, quite honestly, for a game that came out in 2011, I mean, granted, the special edition is updated, but with certain mods, you can even make Oldrim look about as good as SE. Alright, looks like more potatoes have come in. Potato. Eat. And the weird thing about this is cabbages are like so low in there that you kind of have to like jump in thing to get the cabbages. There you go. I don't think the it just got an HEB ad on Snapchat. You know what? Because they know that you're watching me right now. Okay, it's still like the middle of the day, but I don't know how long it takes to trigger, why we haven't gotten in. You know what? Let me just like take a nap. Let's just say he's had a long ride. He's gonna take a quick little nap. There you go.
Sleep well?
What? Where am I? Who are you?
Does it matter? You're warm, dry, and still very much alive. That's more than can be said for old Grelod,
You know about that.
Half of Skyrim knows. Old hag gets butchered in her own orphanage. Things like that tend to get around. Oh, but don't misunderstand. I'm not criticizing. It was a good kill. Old Crone had it coming. And you saved a group of urchins to boot. But there is a slight, problem.
Problem?
You see, that little Aretino boy was looking for the Dark Brotherhood. For me and my associates. Grelod the Kind was, by all rights, a Dark Brotherhood contract. A kill that you stole. A kill you must repay.
You want me to murder someone else? Who?
Well now, funny you should ask. If you turn around, you'll notice my guests. I've collected them from... well, that's not really important. The here and now. That's what matters. You see, there's a contract out on one of them, and that person can't leave this room alive. But, oh, which one? Go on. See if you can figure it out. Make your choice. Make your kill. I just want to observe and admire.
Well, he's not necessarily gonna, although he's not gonna do it. He wants to keep up appearances, so he's just gonna remain silent here.
Am I to take your silence as acceptance? Then you know where we stand. Make your kill and we're square. Repayment of your debt is but a discreet knife thrust away.
Also, like, the real question is, what the hell did you do to the dog? Right? I mean, wouldn't that be any normal person's, like, what the F did you, where am I, and where's my dog? Alright, we'll play along with all these poor people. Like, Barrack is honestly, he's genuinely terrified right now. Like, horrified for them. Right? Because, like, this is some cruel shit. He didn't even, you know, he saw some torture in the war, but, yeah, this is a problem for him.
I can hear you talking out there. Please let me go. I've done nothing to you.
Who are you?
My name is Full-Time. I'm a soldier. Well, mercenary, really. You know, a sellsword. I've lived in Skyrim all my life. That's all. I'm a nobody, really. So, can't you just let me go?
Be calm, friend.
What did I do? Please, whatever it is, I'm sorry.
Get these things off of me.
Tell me who you are.
None of your damn business who I am. If you're going to kill me, just do it already. Esmara is my witness. If I didn't have this hood on right now, I would spit right in your face.
Mara, guide us. Have patience.
I don't have time for this nonsense. I've got a home to keep and children to feed. Now, let me out of here.
And you?
Whoever this is, clearly we got off on the wrong foot. But no worries. This is not the first time I have been bagged and dragged.
And who are you?
Varsha, at your service. Obtainer of goods, taker of lives, and defiler of daughters. Have you not heard of me? Perhaps I will have my people carve my name in your corpse as a reminder.
Highly unlikely and also unnecessary.
Tell you what, you release me and I promise my associates will not hunt you down like an animal and butcher you in the street.
Alright, here we go. Time to start down the path of destroying the Dark Brotherhood. No turning back from here, but number one, Barrack is an honorable character, and number two, they tried to kill him first, so time to do what we gotta do.
The anticipation.
Oh, and off with her. Oh, wait, I thought that was off with her head. Almost off with her head. Woo, there we go. Started, destroy the Dark Brotherhood. Okay, all right. So I guess it would make sense for him to take the gear off if he's planning to infiltrate, right? Take the key, and yeah, we'll take this blade. We'll take the armor. We'll take all of it, actually. Now let's see if we can't help these.
Come now, my friend. You see? That wasn't so hard now, was it? Let's the two of us just forget we ever met, hmm?
Go on, be on your way.
You cut these bindings this minute. You hear me?
Yes, I'm not the one who tied you up in the first place.
Time.
Capturing a woman from her home, keeping her bound like an animal. Ridiculous.
Wasn't me, and technically I saved you.
Please, please release me. Cut my bonds.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Go on.
I'll never speak of this to anyone. I promise.
Right then.
Thank you,
All
thank
free
you.
to go.
I won't tell
I don't know
anyone
who
what
you
happened
are
here.
or what's
Swear
going
it.
on here, but you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ah, sweet freedom. Now that's more like it.
Enjoy it.
Stranger.
Alright, I don't think there's anything else in here that I need to look for. But now that we have destroyed the Dark Brotherhood, report Astrid's death to a guard. Okay, well, we'll do that, but first of all, gotta figure out where we're at. Oh, we are in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so quickest thing to do is actually to get to Morthal, right? Because this part here, I mean, if I want to get into Solitude, that's actually not the best. I'm thinking I may be better off just traveling south, getting to. I don't know if you want to call it magic. I don't know if you want to call it the fact that my horse is just on point like that. But whenever I need my horse just shows up. We don't know how. That's why I have the best horse in the game. Varric is pretty familiar with these parts. He did help Morthal out with their little vampire problem, so that's why he would know how to get to Morthal from. Oh, and I do have the one kid, the Benar, I think his name is, the best fighter in Morthal who you can get into a fist fight with. I could ask him for help. But he's a little green. I don't know. That might be kind of lost him his life. Courier?
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Uh-huh.
Let's see here. There's a new lady in charge of the orphanage in Rifton. She asked me to hand out these notices to everyone I met. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Okay. Adoption letter. Yeah, I don't think Barrick would be adopting, quite on it. Oh, I need to report to any guard. Enough.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls.
Well,
been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
I got
Don't
news of
think
something.
Have
you seen my mother?
Like I'm one of those
Hey, come here.
fiddling with any locks around here. We're going to have a real problem.
Stop walking away from me, you dumb guard. I'm trying to report like the most significant thing
How
that's
can I
ever
help
happened
a
in your
brother
little
North?
guard life.
Best offense is a good defense, am I right?
Yeah, okay, sure, man, but I gotta report something here. Alright, I killed the leader of the Dark Brotherhood.
You did what? By the gods, you're serious. You'd better report this to Commander Marrow right away. He's at the Penutus Oculatus outpost, up in Dragon Bridge.
I'll go right away. Alright, we've got to go to, Enter Morrow. And yeah, I think be a carriage in Morthal. Capital of Helmhart. I don't.
Good morning.
Morning.
Where do you want to go?
Offengar, please.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Straight to Solitude. No, rather, no, sorry. Drop me off at Dragon Bridge.
Climb and back, and we'll be off.
Berry Boy. Do the crows in the Brotherhood act in a similar way? Yes and no. They do as far as taking their contracts very seriously, but the crows are in it for financial gain. They're in it for their reputation.
Daedra worship.
The Dark Brotherhood believe that they serve Sithis. And Sithis is basically like the god of death, but also like the god of nothingness. It's kind of hard to describe.
Disrespect the law.
And so they're very committed to sort of doing that in service to Sithis, not necessarily just to be mercenary for the sake of it. Also, I'm now hungry, so we'll red first, because that's probably going to go bad first. Oh, I never made this either. What the hell? Alright, well, I now have soup. Jordan, I'm doing a serious hardcore roleplay. Us, it's Berry Boy. Berry Boy is an effective nickname. Sarah Marie, well, not all of the Brotherhood believe in that. That's true. That is true, but that is sort of like their core. It's kind of how they were founded. The Night Mother and the Listener and all that. All right, let's report Death of Astrid to tomorrow.
Yes?
Also, I didn't realize this until just now, but like, is there a relation? Because Barrick's last name is Morrow. I don't know
Yes.
how I'm gonna figure that out, but just
Out with it.
there it is. A guard sent me. I killed the leader of the Dark Brotherhood.
The leader of the Dark Brotherhood? You mean Astrid? Dead? And this is no jest? Ha! This is a stroke of good fortune. Long have I watched the Dark Brotherhood's movement, waiting for the time to strike. That time is now. My agents have recently acquired the passphrase to their sanctuary. It is, "Silence my brother." Every assassin in that hole must be put down. You, my friend, you've slain their leader. This honor should be yours. Do this, and you will be rewarded most handsomely.
The honor? Like, why do I have to do it by myself?
We have a chance to destroy the Dark Brotherhood forever. It's all up to you. We have a chance to destroy the Dark Brotherhood forever. It's all up to you.
You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
I'll give you guys two guesses for who the voice is.
You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
Anybody?
Citizen? You must be lost. The tavern is down the road a piece.
It is so obviously Fenris, too. It's like it's basically Fenris in Skyrim. Okay, so now on to... Oh, gods, it's way the hell over by Falkreath. Okay, once again, we will be using a carriage to get there, because that's just a hell of a journey. And shall I take anyone with me, however? That's the real question. I don't know if I'll actually even need it, although I might. But again, I'm just trying to think, like, from a roleplay standpoint, why the hell would he just go... But then again, who is the right person to take with him? I wonder if Valgus is at the Temple of the Divines right now. That's a good question. You know what? Let's make a save. And if he's not, I'll just reload so I'm not wasting all the time in the day. But if Valgus is at the Temple of the Divines, Solitude. Might be. He said he would be at Temples of Inarath. Then we'll take him. He's basically a healer, but he's also got some decent destruction spells. He'll be very helpful fighting the Dark Brotherhood. Yeah, Mjolnir Lioness would be great, except I haven't done her quest yet, so I don't think I can get her. Yeah, I had a companion that I traveled with for a bit that was a part of the interesting NPC mod. And if he's here hanging out in Solitude, I will take him. Okay. Yeah, I don't have any hunger. Or, oh, here we go. See, I love the wells because the wells give you spring water, and that's way better than boiling water. Empty that, and then activate the well. No, wait. Hall of the Dead, and then the Temple of the Divines is up by the camp. Why is that guard running? Facing somebody, bro?
Heard about you and
I don't abide fancy clothes, but you look like you.
Blessings of the Eight Divines upon you. How may I help?
It's 9 divine.
Blessings to you.
Oh, is that Algus?
As High Priest of the Eight Divines, I bid you welcome.
9 divines.
Let us walk in the steps of the divines.
Have
The
you come seeking
divines
guidance?
saved me from the streets, and they can save you from your trials as well.
Take a seat or pray at this.
Okay, doesn't look like that other companion that I was talking about is going. So
Mistress, a word?
Certainly, Acolyte. What trouble?
probably do it solo, or I don't know. Maybe if we swing by Whiterun, pick up Janessa. I'm not sure. Not sure. But in any event. That was we'll quickly here. I gotta change, but oh crap. Well, I guess well, the carriage is Solitude. Maybe I should. Yeah, we'll go back up to Solitude. We will take the carriage, and we will take that to. We'll take that to Fall Creek, and then go with it. Everyone.
What's a milk drinker like you doing out here? Go home to your mother. Until next time.
Modded Alistair as a follower. I'm pretty sure that exists. There's a bunch of Dragon Age Skyrim mods, actually. Discount Cunari, I like that.
Need something? Where do you want to go? Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Nice weather for a ride. Hope it lasts.
That's a twink. And
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Then you took an arrow in the knee?
I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah, you don't say. It seems like that's a common happening. Okay, and then it looks like we still have some daylight, so what the heck, we may right up the road. Let's go handle some Dark Brotherhood. Do it. I guess we're doing this solo, which is kind of improbable, but at the same time, we are going to get the drop on them, and I've already killed a significant number of Dark Brotherhood agents who have come after me, so Derek is feeling pretty confident here. And I think also, just the more I think about it, he doesn't want to put people at risk by bringing them with him. And to be honest, he had kind of a, I wouldn't say death wish, but for a while there, he was trying to find a noble end, and so I think even if this were to be it for him, he would at least know he went down taking out, you know, some of the most dangerous people in Tamriel. Save here. I like some of the options. The lute? No, the drums. Some kind of choir with chanting. Screaming? Silence, my brother. Oh, my follower cannot accompany me here, which is going to, well, better yet, that means it doesn't matter if I had someone or didn't. They weren't going to be able to come in. So, right, let's straight up blast these fools. Anything I could have bought? I should have brought the potion of night, shouldn't I? If I die, I'll try that.
was that?
All right, you fools.
Ha! I think you're bleeding. Ah! That's it? That's all you've got? You won't get away from me. Victory!
All right, that's one down. Oh, this is easy. The Daedric Battle Axe of Nervating. Huh.
Is someone there?
Yeah, someone's here, bro.
That's your best, huh?
Right, goes another one. Huh, of invisibility. Oh, dragon bone, like that.
Over here.
That spider.
Hey!
Hey, why don't you come down here, bro? Oh, there goes his head. And his head is gone. Look at it, just rolling around there. Ooh, okay. Oh, I kind of like this. I was going to make one of the armor sets myself. Actually, without the cape, though. I'll have to do that. Alright, I think there should be a few, / several more.
Hello. Who's there?
Okay, this guy's quite powerful. Oh, with the jumping finish. And he's now done. Okay. That was just a few of them, which obviously that can't be all of them, right? But that's just how it goes, and you actually don't end up killing a lot of the main folks that in the Dark Brotherhood. But at least as far as Barrack is concerned, the Dark Brotherhood is now destroyed. Their foothold in Skyrim has been eliminated. Sapphire. Sapphire. You know, he has been through a lot. He has been through a lot. I mean, defeating Patema in particular was pretty stressful, but what hasn't killed him has only made him stronger. any other loot here really needed to grab or anything missing. Okay. Let's head back to Commander Morrow and wrap this up. Holy moly, it's dark. Alright, let's get back to Falkreath, and then that way we can take a carriage ride. Actually, we might stay in the inn real quick in Falkreath, because otherwise I'm going to start to become over encumbered because I have loot. And once you get to tired, when you become tired, your carry weight lowers even more. And I can't quite carry a bunch even as it is. Alright, let's store a bunch of this stuff. Wow, okay. Okay, that should be good. Very good.
Sure bones. Handsome man in Falkreath. Or take a seat by the fire.
Oh, well, thank you. All right. Hang on. I have one room. Get over here.
Welcome to Dead Man's Drink. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
So I'm curious, if we were to, make a character specifically for the stream, what type of character would you guys like? Would you like to see a warrior, kind of like Barrack? Would you prefer more of a mage, a rogue, sort of a stealthy character, and then also roleplay ideas? I'm sure I could come up with quite a few that I already know that I want to do. Bard. There are actually a couple of interesting mods to play a bard. So that's actually pretty doable. That is actually pretty doable. I could always give you guys some options, right? So I could come up with a few and then post them on Twitter and let people vote on them. Maybe a full mage, yeah, that could be interesting. Ooh, water, could have a bit. I mean, I guess I could eat a cabbage. Could still have a bit more. Okay, I guess I could have more cabbage. Could still have a bit more. Good thing I have potatoes. There you go. Brawler mage. I mean, that is technically a thing. There's a mod that helps you do that.
Mom says I'm getting a new mommy and daddy, so I'll have 2 of each now.
Punchy spellboy. Thalmor agent. You know what? Richard Osborne bringing it. I actually kind of like that. I've never planned anything out for that, but there are a couple of mods that let you basically join the Thalmor instead. That could be interesting, That could be unique. I also kind of thought it might be interesting to do the Thieves Guild quest on stream. put on some mods for that and maybe just try and steal everything, because stealing everything is a good way for stuff to go wrong. That's always kind of fun.
Sure spoons. Handsome man in Falkreath.
Discount cat Zevran. Oh, yeah, okay, alright, maybe.
My carriage is the safest way to travel. Where do you want to go?
I would like to go to Hoppingar, please.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Dragon Bridge would be great if you could.
I don't do charity. No gold?
I
no
have gold on my horse. Just 1 second. So embarrassing.
Heard they're reforming the dock. I mostly deal with...
Need a ride? Where do you want to go?
Hoppingar.
Going straight through, or did you want to stop somewhere along the way?
Dragon Bridge, for real this time.
Climb and back, and we'll be off. I'm not asking. But if you happen to be the type, I hear that Kilcrease Ruin is your shrine to Murdia. You know, Daedra worship.
Quench the wench. Oh man, you guys are great. Okay, we're here. It's now not raining. And we can finally wrap up the destruction of the Dark Brotherhood had been hounding Barrack for quite some time. So he's pretty damn happy that he can, you know, number one, he finally figured out he does want to live. Number two, as he was starting to find purpose again in his life, he gets sort of bombarded by these assassination attempts, even up in the mountains. So, you know, he's pretty happy that he got this off of his back, and now he can go on and probably...
By all I hold holy, can it be true?
Oh, it can.
Have you actually done it?
I have.
This is a great day, my friend. You have struck a blow against darkness that will not soon be forgotten. Here, as promised, a most generous reward.
Ah, why thank you.
I'll make sure the Emperor himself hears of all you've accomplished.
Wow.
You've made Skyrim a better place.
The Emperor himself. Well, that's all I ever really wanted.
All right,
Commander Morrow. Thank you. Yeah, so he's pretty happy to be able to get this out of the way. He's finally decided he wants to continue going on. He wants to help people, so he's saved his own skin, but he's also helped a lot of people by getting rid of the Dark Brotherhood in Skyrim. He's made quite a name for himself, right? Commander Morrow is the leader of the Penitus Oculatus, which in Elder Scrolls lore is basically the personal guard / the intelligence agency of the Empire. So he's made a name for them. As I think I mentioned... Hey, Fussel. Yes, I have eradicated the Dark Brotherhood. Hey, look, man, we can do another character where we join the Dark Brotherhood. I think that might be kind of interesting. So maybe we'll do that at some point. And so, yeah, him sort of accomplishing this in his mind frees him up. It sort of allows him to do some other things now, right? I have the Helgen Reborn mod installed, and very likely I'll be doing that, as well. So now he can kind of go and continue to help Falkreath Hold get continue to have Falkreath Hold continue to rebuild itself, and I think that'll be really interesting for him. He'll eventually buy another farm. There is also a mod where you can buy a mine and a blacksmith business. I'll probably end up doing that with this character as well. All of that's pretty boring. I don't really know if that's stream type stuff, but I'll definitely be doing that with this character. And if you guys really want to do more Skyrim stuff, I think that would be awesome. and we can talk on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's at the Exalted March. I don't know, I guess the thing to do is probably post some synopses of characters, and then maybe let you guys vote on them. Maybe I'll do 3 or 4 concepts, and we can see where we go from there. But in any event, wow, this has been quite a long stream. I think I went for 3 hours, and I know some of you have been here like the entire time. I know Alpaca, Catherine, Ellie, Sarah Marie, I think you've been here most of the time. I can't name everyone who's been here the entire time. Ashara, many of you have been here the entire time, which is really dope. Thank you for spending some of your Saturday with us. And I really appreciate it. I will not be streaming tomorrow. I am going to be catching up on Game of Thrones, as well as finally going to watch Endgame with my girlfriend, and so I will not be streaming tomorrow. But thank you if you were here yesterday for the Star Citizen stream. Thank you for showing up today. You guys are really the best. I think Katie's might be back Tuesday. I can't speak for her. But we should be back to a normal Saturday stream schedule with more Versace and Dragon Age 2 next Saturday. With that, final time. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.